hop into it.
Okay.
All right, lady. Thank you for being back.
Yeah.
It was a surprise that you wanted to be back on because I saw the video that we did 3 years ago. You said.
Yeah.
And I shared it, and I was like, I don't know if she'll even see it because last time I tried to tag people in like a memory, nothing showed up.
Weird.
It just had like their tag, and
Yeah.
I was so confused. So I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and just share it and see what happens.
So I had seen it, and I had seen my little fat face on the side of the corner, and I was like, oh, God, no, I've got to run that back. Oh, my goodness. And since then, a bitch has done a lot for herself. We worked out one day at the gym. Mm-hmm. You taught me a whole lot of stuff, put me onto some new stuff, which I'm so grateful for. And at the time, 3 years ago, I was in a relationship, mm-hmm. and just so much has changed since then. My perspective and outlook, I've went through so much since then, so I can't exactly say that I have some of the same views, and some views I might have dove deeper into since then.
Well, I really don't remember what specifically we were talking about, but of course it was around the lines of relationships and a little bit about you. I remember getting to know you a little bit more, but for example, what do you think has changed or what have you learned differently?
So that time, it's 2025 now. That was like mm-hmm. back in 2020, like 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the math is right.
I don't know. I'll have to go back and look.
If the math is mathin'.
If it's mathin'. So at that time, I had been in a relationship for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And last year, I got out of the same relationship. So we ended up being together for a total of 5 years. And at the time that I did the podcast, I was in love. I wasn't at the peak love of that relationship, but I was definitely in love and happy. And obviously we've broken up, and I think we broke up because of me. I'll be accountable. We broke up because of me, but we definitely broke up because of him. And I kind of just learned that I've got to love me. I've got to be with me. I've got to hold me, take care of me. And relationships aren't always all about your partner. Mm-hmm. They're just not. I hope that answers the question. I'm not sure. No. I'm high as fuck on Dayquil. I want to get that out there. I'm high as fuck on Dayquil.
No, it's fine. I mean, it answers a little bit of the question, more so of like what happened after, or what had the relationship end. But when you say it was me, but then also it was him, are you meaning more so of you found the oh my gosh, the idea of working on yourself, showing yourself love, and then, or because of the way that he was acting?
Okay, so I will just give
you the whole
rundown.
Does that make
sense? It does.
Okay, because of him, I found out I had to fix myself.
Yeah, okay. absolutely. And I'm so grateful and indebted to him for that. So I was in a relationship with a real man. Unfortunately, it took the ending of the relationship for me to actually see and acknowledge that he was a real, true, gentle man with a really good heart and great intentions. Mm-hmm. He was always for me. He never had a wandering eye. He stood by my side. He took up for me. He took care of me. So let me just give you the rundown of how we broke up.
Okay, for sure.
It's super incriminating. It's so incriminating because I am not proud of my actions. We broke up in a really, really fucked up way. So what had happened was, towards the end of our relationship, I felt like he was getting complacent. He stopped fighting for me. At the beginning, he was fighting so hard for me. But towards the end there, he didn't want to go out with me. So what led to, I ended up cheating on him. What led to that was I had begged him to go out to like dinner and drinks with me. And he told me he would rather stay in bed and go to bed by 7 p.m. and lay in the bed and watch anime. And I was like, no, like, we're not doing that. I had like $400 to blow. So I'm like, let's go do something. Like, let's live our lives. We're only like, at the time I was like 25 and he was like 20. He's younger than me. He was like 23. So I'm like, let's not lay in bed. Like, we're not old and we're not dead. He didn't want to. He didn't budge. So I went out and had dinner and drinks by myself. And I had a great time. And at the end of the night, I didn't want to go home to my man. I went off and cheated. So that's kind of how we sizzled out. So I told him that I cheated, and that was just something that was completely unbearable for him, and he couldn't live with that. So we had to part ways. But
I love how you said it. Like it was unbearable. He was like, "Nah, I can't fuck with it." Like it was like a little thing.
It's not a little thing. It's not a little
He was like,
thing.
he just couldn't live with it. I don't know what happened, but he just couldn't live with it.
Well, this is my thing. At that point, after it was like we were on like 4 years and like 8 months. Like, why? Like, yeah, I'm in the wrong, but like, he had stopped fighting for me. He didn't want me anymore. Like, and I guess we should have cut it off there or prior to.
Right.
But like, I was just kind of being strung along, and cheating is awful. Don't cheat. Don't ever cheat. Never be a cheater. But no one likes to talk about what takes you to cheating. No one likes to talk about how you end up in those situations. Like, yeah, I did do the worst thing ever, but like, what was I supposed to do? Well, now I know what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to break up with them then. But like, in the moment, like, I was so caught up in my own feelings, in my own head, in my own heart. Like, I don't know, I guess I wanted to eat my cake and have it too. Like, but I just wish he would have fought for me. I wish he would have been in love with me like we once were. I wish he would have been like, yeah, babe, let's go out and have dinner and drinks and have a great ass time. Like, I wish he would have fought for me, and he didn't. I wish he would, he stopped communicating with me. He started to shut down. Like, that is a form of abuse. I don't know if you guys know that, but like, neglect is abuse. Like, we stopped talking, and like, there was just a big disconnect. And, you know, I was like constantly like pleading with him to like give me some love and attention, and he just would not. He just would, for the life of him, he would not. So like, Julian, what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do?
So from my, I don't know his intentions or his perspective of that, but with me, it kind of sounds similar with what happened to me, in the sense of, my son's mom didn't feel like I was loving her. She felt like she needed to find herself in order to become a better person. And finding herself was having sex with another man, still coming back home with me, still laying in the same bed as me. And what she never realized is that I had my own struggles, battles, and things that I had to get through as well. Showing her that I was becoming a better man with going to the gym, with different things that I would do for her, didn't really resonate with her. She always wanted that. I burped. No, it's okay. I'm sorry. That's all right. I didn't even hear it. But she wanted more than what I thought was enough, in the sense of actions being louder than words. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you should have done, because that's not my place, nor am I even a good person to say something like that. But I think what women have to do, I feel like you all put your feelings first a lot. Not saying all the time, because there's some women who will stick by a man for years and be abused, be mistreated, etc. But sometimes it's, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. Like, you want the princess feel, but not the queen's duties. Right.
Yeah.
The queen makes sure the king is okay. She makes sure the household is fine, regardless if you have kids, whatever. And probably in that situation, speaking to him and saying, is there anything that I'm doing that doesn't make you want to go out with me? Is there something that I can do to make you feel more loved? And sometimes we neglect that side of it.
Well, you know what? That's so crazy that you said that, because I had asked those questions. Mm-hmm. I asked those, and maybe he was being drove crazy, because I was so accountable. I was asking those questions damn near on a daily. And what he would tell me is like, so he said I bitched too much. I bitched and complained. Were
you?
Well, this is my thing. I don't feel like I was bitching or complaining. Mm-hmm. I think he was not understanding me. What happened?
Sorry. My game turned off, so the light turned off. One sec.
Okay. I feel like he wasn't, I don't know that I can say I was bitching as much as I can say that he wasn't wanting to hear it. I don't think he was I don't think he gave a fuck. I don't think he gave a fuck to hear what I had to say. He just knew, like, damn, this bitch is talking again. This bitch is talking to me again. Like, no, but I would always ask him, like, well, what's wrong? And so I was bitching. And that's all he could really say. And so things had built up. Prior to our breakup, he told me he was tired of his job. So I told him to quit his job. I'll take care of the bills. And I did. So he got to lay around at home and play video games while I went off to work and worked full time.
Yeah, 2 jobs, right?
Yeah. I bust my ass, and I pay for everything. And I feel like that wasn't enough for him because sometimes I would ask him, like, hey, can you make dinner for me? Like, when I come home, do you mind making dinner?
Yeah.
Dinner wouldn't be made. Hey, can you clean the house, like, while I'm gone? Like, do you mind? You've got nothing going on. House would still be dirty. So then I would find myself cleaning up the house, and I would find myself making dinner. So I would find myself on the clock after the clock. Meanwhile, he's chilling. Mm-hmm. So if that's the bitching that he was talking about, then fine.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
For sure.
We'll take it. But I thought he had it made. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. And one thing I realized, like yesterday, is that, like, we just really were not each other's people. We just weren't compatible. What he wants for himself and his views are just so different than mine. He didn't want children. I want children. He didn't believe in God. I'm a God-fearing woman. There were just so many disconnects that I felt like we just rode out because we liked each other. And I mean, there was a point in time we were deeply in love. Like, he's from the suburbs. I'm not. He almost had me beat the dog shit out of a homeless man at the bus stop because the homeless man was telling him about me and he didn't know what the fuck to do. So I was like, oh, I'm about to square up with this homeless man and beat his ass because this nigga don't fight. He from the burbs. Like, I did. I told him to hold my purse. Like, like there was just so many different little things that just disconnected everything. Mm-hmm. Just everything. I don't know.
No, it makes sense. I mean, sometimes we, like you said, we get complacent, but also we get to a point of where the honeymoon phase runs out and we start to see the individual for who they are.
Yeah.
In my previous relationship, it kind of got that way. I mean, it was rocky a little bit from the beginning, even to the end, but I saw this new individual and I was ecstatic that somebody like her would find somebody like me attractive. And that's been my experience for a lot of my life. But during different encounters that we would have together for a long period of time, there would be things that would be awkward between us, or it would be like, I don't know, we're not feeling it.
Yeah. So
there was a time where a conversation happened and it got awkward again. And then after that, she decided to call it. And I was looking back and was like, a part of me was okay with it, but another part was like, is there something that I could have done better in order to either be more of a man for her or to show her that whatever she had or got going on, that I was okay with it. Mm-hmm. But it was so hard for me to separate who I used to be to what I should have been for her. Meaning, I've been a father for 4 years now. I've been communicating, seeing, talking, having sex with his mom for like almost all my relationship life.
Still? Are you still fucking her?
No. No.
When's the last time you hit that? Threw it back. My nigga had to check the time as if it was like... When's the last time you threw that thing back? Put in rotation.
See, okay, so I guess I'll get into that. So me and my ex broke up, and then the next day...
Oh.
That happened.
In Jesus' name.
But anyway, I was saying all that to say, when I was in a relationship with her, it didn't feel real. In the sense of, I still felt like I still had responsibilities outside of her, which I did, of course, being a father and shit. But when it came to actually feeling like a girlfriend or feeling like a boyfriend,
Didn't feel that way.
It didn't feel that way for some reason. It was so odd. I enjoyed her company. She made me feel handsome. She made me feel respected, heard, etc. But for some reason, I just couldn't get past that hump of making it feel real. And I'm the type of man, I hate it. I wish I was different. But if I get into my head a lot, let's just say we're having sex and I was thinking about something, I'd go soft. Like it's hard for me to be into something if I know something's not right or if something is wrong. And there was a time where I was overthinking and went soft with her. And I'm just like, man, what is going on? And I had to reevaluate my life and pinpoint things that either I had insecurities about prior to her, or even being comfortable with a new woman. Because man, she was a nurse for like 5-6 years. Beautiful woman. Like she dressed up like she was going to an interview every day.
Ooh.
Right? And I dressed like this.
Ooh. We're actually twinning today. I don't know if you guys, we didn't plan this. We're both wearing green.
Man.
Great minds think alike.
Right.
I love his green, but I also love mine.
Thank you. I do like dark green. Dark green's nice.
Mine's more like an olive, like a rusty old dried up olive, but I love it.
I fuck with it. Man, put you in a martini.
A martini, yes.
Never had one of those.
You haven't? It's basically just like the strongest alcohol with like a little spritz of something else in it.
Oh well, I don't even like alcohol.
I do.
Ugh. But yes, but yeah, it's just all those things tied up. And
so I really hope that you do edit these. Like you can cut and like not, or do you just post the whole thing?
Yeah,
like,
just post the whole thing.
You just post the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn. Because I feel like I'm rambling on, and some of this I just feel is like I probably will sound stupid, but it's fine. It's whatever. It's the internet. Maybe no one will watch.
No.
We don't want to say that. Don't watch for me. Let me not say that.
Fuck this podcast.
I've been incriminated and I'm going home. So, what are some things that you have learned about yourself that you didn't know prior to being in relationships with these women? I can go first, but I think we should both answer that question.
For sure. What I've learned is that being a man really means something to women. And let me explain. So when it comes to a woman asking you, what do you want to eat? And you say, I don't know, whatever you want to eat. To me, psychologically, she is looking at you like you can't be a leader.
Yeah. Period. Or
if she, so with my ex, another thing that I found out that I should do, it's kind of not found out about myself, but what I should do, she was at the dentist and she called me and she was like, hey, my gas is a little bit low. Can you come and pump it for me? Like, I'll pay for it, etc. And I was like, now? Like, while you're there? And she was like, yeah. And I was thinking, I was like, well, what the fuck can you do for me? You know, like what
you gonna do for me if I pump that gas?
Well, because I've been cheated on. I've been manipulated. I had women tell me that I was the best thing for them, and then come to find out they're back with their exes.
So it's like you don't deserve shit from me.
It's not even that. Is I don't want to feel like I don't want to feel played. I don't want to feel like a loser. But again, having that man mentality. What if I did go, or I did, but. Let's just say... That's
a good man. You went, put yourself aside and went.
Right. And I was thinking when I was leaving, what if the women there who worked in the dentist's office saw me come and pump her gas and now want better for themselves?
Right.
Or what if doing this proves to her that no other man can do what I can do for her? So when opportunities do come around where there's a more handsome man or a man that looks better than me, she would feel like, why would I replace him for something that he can give me with something that somebody else has?
So basically, like, you learned to be a good person no matter what, because it's not always for you.
For sure. I mean, you got to love hard regardless. Mm-hmm. I was talking to my friend a little yesterday, and I was telling him, I was like, man, I understand that the women that you've been with are not good women. But why lose out on the opportunity of a good woman if you lose the characteristics of a good man? Mm-hmm. And I try to live that every day. I want people to feel the masculinity that comes off of me when I either walk in the room or speak to them, because now that's more attracting than what you can see. How I can make you feel means more than how I can stimulate your other senses.
Okay.
So yes, that's what I've learned, is to be more masculine, to be more straightforward, leading, and to show these women that if they do choose me, that they're not making a wrong decision with a man who can't fucking do anything. Do shit. Right.
Yes. Okay, that's strong. That is strong.
And I'm still single.
Still single. I'm also single. I'm newly single. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I was in the pen for 5 years. Bitch finally free. Bitch is finally home. So what I have learned from my past relationship is, man, there's just so much I've learned. I have learned that relationships are about compromise, and sometimes you're going to compromise more than the other person. Sometimes the other person is going to compromise more than you. It's about the end goal. Are you guys going to be able to meet up at the end and be a team? I've learned that you have to give yourself time to miss the other person. If you're up the other person's ass 24/7, if they're up your ass 24/7, you're going to start getting irritated, like a fly in the summertime that just won't leave you the fuck alone. Like, but here we are in winter. We're missing the fucking flies. We're missing the heat. We're missing it. So you got to give time to miss each other. You have to, I've learned in relationships, you have to put yourself to the side. It's not, and it's different from compromise. Like you have to be selfless. Like, it's not all about you. It's about them. You know, you've basically adopted a person to nurture them and to love them and to be with them. So you've got to find a way to ride that out and fit that out.
Yeah.
I've learned that if you're not happy, if you're seeing these red flags, if shit's just not going your way, even in the honeymoon phase or even after that, like, get the fuck out. Leave. Don't waste your time. Like, one thing at the end of the relationship, I was so mad. I went over to my sister's house and I was like crying and I was pissed off and I was so upset because I had wasted so much time. And my sister was basically like, sounds like you should have cut the shit off maybe 1, 2, 3, dare I say 4 years ago. And I'm just like, oh, you're so right. Like, don't waste your time. Don't settle. If you're not happy, if you're not getting good vibes, if you're not connecting, if you're seeing red flags, if things aren't genuine, leave. Leave. There's too many men out here. There's too many women out here. And just don't waste your time, your effort, your energy, and your love. Another thing I've learned is that I have so much love to give. Even after that heartbreak, I still have love to give. I still will get married. I still will have a husband. I still will have a family. And I will still love him wholeheartedly with everything in me. And just because my past relationship didn't work out does not mean that it's over with for me. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that.
For sure.
So, yeah, those are some of the things I've learned.
So I have a question. And I asked this question just because I'm curious. So I've never cheated, right? But when I talk to other women who have, and they and they say, I want to be a wife, I want to be this, I want to be that. From a man's point of view, I don't understand how that can still be a thing, because now you condition yourself to feel and to think when things are wrong, it's, I wouldn't say okay, but it's an option. It's an option to do X, Y, and Z. And marriage is such a
commitment.
A uniform thing that sometimes when men hear things like that, it kind of puts a barrier between that. So as a woman who've done that act but still want that fairy tale ending, how do you think you change or will change to be that wife material and not the individual who you were in that period of stepping out on the person that you said you loved?
So I told you guys I cheated, obviously incriminating. I do, and I didn't tell you like the fullest length of like how severe or how bad the situation was. I do have to say, because I cheated in this society, City Girls were up 10 points. Okay, and City Girls was up because you niggas get to cheat left and right and left and right, and with her and him, with her and him. That's crazy with him. But so when I did cheat, I felt guilt.
Oh, they always do.
My
baby mama said. My baby mama said, I cried when I was done. Bitch,
she did
kick you in your throat.
She did. I know she cried. Cheating does not feel good. Cheating does not feel good.
I didn't wake up today knowing that I was gonna go through this, man.
No, cheating does not feel good. So I did not feel good. I was not happy with my decision. I did know. I was like, oh shit, like this is the end. Like this, it's over with. This is the end. I was not happy. I was not proud. I'm not proud. I'm still ashamed. I'm highly, highly ashamed of my actions. Mm-hmm. Not proud of them. So with that being said, I had to identify what led me to cheat. So you know that in order to change something, you have to acknowledge and be accountable for what it is you need to change. So because I know what led me to cheat, and because I know basically how we got there, I now know what to avoid, which goes back to the fact of getting the fuck out when it's time to get the fuck out. I know that I'm not going to cheat because I know that the man that is meant for me is going to completely satisfy and fulfill my needs. He's going to leave me full of him to the extent that like he's going to be my pleasure. I'm not going to want to go and look for other things and other people because they're going to be right there and there with him.
For sure.
And I know that if I start to feel something's off, something's not giving, I'm not happy, I can say before I cheat, I'm just going to leave the relationship. Even if it hurts, even if I cry, I'm just going to get gone. And it's just that simple. And the thing is, I want to be committed. I love love. I love love. Love is so beautiful. Love feels good. Love is kind and gentle. I want that for me, and I deserve that for me. And whoever my husband is, he deserves that for him. And we can do that as long as we are together and we're able to talk it out and we're able to work it out. My ex and I, we weren't able to talk it out. We weren't able to work it out. We weren't able to communicate without it seeming as if I was just bitching. He wasn't able to open up. All he could do was just shut down. Like, there are so many things that led up to it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going for those things a second time around. I'm not willing to cheat. I'm not willing to be a cheater. I'm not a cheater. I'm not willing to do that again. So I hope this makes sense. I hope it all makes sense. But, like, I'm not willing to insert myself into a situation that's going to lead me to do something like that. And I'm going to be way more mindful and alert to the red flags and to the things that would lead me to go there, because to my core as a person, that's not me. That's not who I am. I was really, really weak, really, really fragile, vulnerable, and I wasn't feeling the love. And so that's how we got there. So with my next man, I'm going to make sure that I'm feeling the love, and I'm going to make sure that he's reciprocating. And if he's not, then we're just not going to be. Because who wants to cheat? Unless like you're a bad person, hellbound, like who wants to just sit up and cheat? Like who? Like, I don't know how everyone else's mamas raised them, but like my mama had a lot of love and she was a good woman, and my daddy was in the penitentiary for years and I never saw her with another man. And like who wants to sit up and cheat? Like, cheating is not cool. Cheating is for losers. Like my actions, like I'm a loser. Like loser. Like who wants to cheat?
For sure.
Like, that's some weak ass, whack ass, loser ass shit. Who wants to be a cheater? So But right now I'm single. I'm
Right.
free. I'm hoping to be more aligned with myself and with Lady and Lady's needs.
Mm-hmm.
That way, we don't have to do that again.
For sure.
So does that answer the question?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it does.
Like, I don't want to be a cheater, Julian.
No. You
My
don't.
mistakes do not define me.
No,
My
they don't.
mistakes do not define me.
And that's the odd thing about love or relationships, is that you have a period of years that seem, like the best time of your life, but then you'll get to a point to where your partner stops talking to you, or you stop feeling the love.
Yes.
And it's like, how do we come to the conclusion that this person is our person? Like you said, you were in love with him, you fell in love with a man, but eventually that broke down to where you felt the need to do what you did.
So I think, which anyone who's actually married and in love, I think they will all tell you is, in a relationship and in a marriage, to make that shit last long, you have to keep fighting for each other. Everyone that's married, he stopped fighting for me. I was still fighting for him. I was literally talking to a brick wall. I was fighting for him. I was begging for him. I was like, what can I do? Where's the fire at? Like, please. And he was just like, nah, I'm cool on you. So whenever he was cool on me, I should have been like, oh, okay, you're cool on me. Well, move the fuck around.
Yeah.
But instead, I just kept on, talking to this brick wall until eventually, like, he was like, bitch, fuck you. Like, you're just like, he wasn't acknowledging I was trying to fight for him. It was more like I was trying to fight with him, because he had already, like, closed it off and, like, shut it down and was like, I just don't really want you.
Yeah.
Like,
again, I don't know, like, the fullness, but it kind of sounds like how I was. So at a certain point, every time I would try to have a conversation with my son's mom, it felt like I was the bad guy all the time.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happened, what was said, my feelings were never heard, felt, or even respected, it felt like. So when things came up where she said, what's wrong, or what can I do, I just stopped caring, because now you made me feel so much like a little boy that it was hard for me to feel like a man with you. It was hard for me to open up to the point to where it was easier to suffer in silence than to argue and feel like the bad guy.
yeah, I think he felt the same way. I think he did.
And as a boy, my parents would always make us feel bad with certain things that we did. You were too fat, you were too sloppy, you're too X, Y, and Z. So when it came back to when I was adult with the woman who I was supposed to be in love with, I didn't know how to feel. Even though that I would change in my appearance and trying to change my mindset, it was still a constant point the finger and you're the reason I cheated. You're the reason why we are arguing. You're the reason why. And I don't know. I guess I got numb to it, to now where with other women, it's easier for me to talk, of course, but it's not easy for me to feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was...
So you have some healing to do.
I guess, yeah. I was talking with another friend yesterday, and I was telling him, I was like, man, I don't know if relationships is really in my near future, for the simple fact that, of course, I was having sex with a couple different women a little bit ago, but the man I'm trying to be is not the man that I was portraying.
Right.
I've been big all my life, and now that I'm getting coochie.
Now that you're getting coochie.
It made me feel like I was doing something right, or I was earning something that I was wanting for the longest of times. But
I just have to laugh. The way you said you were getting coochie. You're like, no. Getting coochie.
But then again, I had an experience where I'm just like, all right, this shit can go left really quickly. And it's just the man that I want to be is not the man I was portraying. And I was really down on myself, trying to figure out what I need to do and how I need to do it in order to be a respectable man, to where if I do get into a relationship again, everything can be felt purely and not just being forced. So Meaning, like, with my recent ex-girlfriend, we met each other on the podcast, and we started talking, and we went on a couple dates, and it seemed like it was great. And the reason it felt so different is it didn't feel like I was chasing her. Of course, I saw her, thought she was pretty, added her on Facebook, things like that. But when our podcast was done, she told me she was going to go eat somewhere. And then I was like, all right, that's cool, you know, blah, blah, blah. She left, and then she texted me like 5 minutes later, hey, I went to another restaurant instead of this one. And then when I saw that, I was like, she didn't have to tell me that. She didn't have to.
Right, like, what are you implying?
Right, and it was different. And
it was like, come eat with me, basically.
Well, it was more so of, I want him to know what probably, but again, it's like she was chasing me in a sense. That's what it felt like.
You're chaseable.
Right. Thanks. Shit. I don't run fast, lady, so please hit me up.
You chase this nigga down, you will be able to catch him. You will be able to catch him.
But no, it was different. And again, I had to keep reminding myself, like, hey man, you're a man, you're good, you're this, and this. And it took me a while, but then of course I got more comfortable with her and started enjoying her company. But again, being two different people, it was really hard to continue.
So you just learned that you're not compatible. You dated like you're supposed to.
I miss her, man.
You miss her. You learned you're not compatible, and like you continue on.
She was a great woman. Again, I wish it did work out, but I'm starting to notice that. Actually, not even me. So my barber, because I was talking to him about something about the relationship, and he told me, he was like, you don't want somebody now to ruin what a future woman would find attractive in you.
Oh, that makes sense.
So again, cutting things off before you catch something, or cutting it off before she gets pregnant, or things like that, to where when you do find a respectable woman, it's hard for her to be like, well, you got 2 baby mamas, or you got this type of disease, like just things like that. And it really sparked something under me to like realize that, 15 years from now, I probably won't remember her name. Or 20 years from now, it wouldn't matter. And I'm the type of man to stay in a relationship because I don't want to break it off and then days later be like, well, I really do miss this person, or was this the right decision? And that's the reason I feel like I got cheated on in the first place. Keeping her in my presence longer than she should have.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, she was texting my son's mom, texting an ex-boyfriend who was abusive to her while she was pregnant with Elijah. Had hickeys on her neck while I kissed her in that same spot.
While she was pregnant? Oh, I was going to say,
after.
Rude.
It was just things that led up to finally her stepping out. And I look back and was like, well, if it was over at this point, all this heartache would have been avoided. And people say, well, I'm glad I went through this because I learned. We got to stop using trauma as a reason to learn shit.
Yes, right. Can we not just learn shit on a happy note?
Exactly.
Like school or something?
Right. Like, and it took me so long, because now she's like, I want my family back. I tell you I want you. And I had to tell her, I was
It's
like,
too late.
I'm scared you'll do the same thing again.
And she might, who knows?
And how, it's not fair to me.
It's not.
To now lose 169 pounds, to have 70 plus episodes of podcasts, to have 3 poetry events that I've hosted, have all that just to give it back to the person who broke me in ways that I've never can be healed again.
Yeah, so basically you don't want to like go in a circle.
Right.
You don't want to go spiraling out, or
it's like somebody robbing you of everything you had, and then they become homeless and you invite them back to your house.
Yeah, so you're just moving on, you're moving forward.
You
don't want to go back.
Of course. And it's just, it's really difficult trying to, like I said earlier, living hard regardless of the woman that you're with. It is really difficult, and it's hard for me to understand how to continue to do that, because of course that heartache hurts. Men are not supposed to, quote unquote, not supposed to show emotion or supposed to care.
Which I think that's bullshit. Men should.
But see, women have really added to that fuel.
Mm-hmm. I want my man to cry.
Men
to me.
I'm sorry. If a man blocks me, he's sassy. If a man do this, he's sassy. Why are women putting? Well,
if a man blocks me, I want.
Well, baby girl, is your dad sassy?
My dad
is your dad with your mom? Did your dad make your mom feel pretty? And it's like things like that this or not even what the consensus of women and people are thinking, that is now, I feel like, evolving men to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Because
conditioning them.
Exactly. Because back in the day, like, my grandfather didn't talk about his feelings. He worked, he took care of his family, and then I don't know, my dad wasn't really around for me to like understand how he was in a relationship. Of course, I saw him and my mom argue a shit ton, but he wasn't like a respectable man in a relationship. So now when it's my turn, I really have no example on what to go off. And even at the very beginning of being with my son's mom, I was still an immature child. And then I started to understand after Elijah was born, and after I started working out, how I need to take charge in my life. But then again, everything that I want and need to do, another woman will look at that and be like, well, that's sassy, or how can you want this? And that's not what like, I had a girl tell me, I wasn't dating her or anything, but she told me that I wasn't being a real man because of how I felt about something. And I looked at her and I was like, you're a single mother. Your baby daddy has nothing to do with your child. And you're sitting here at 8:00 at my cousin's house drunk as fuck. Obviously, bitch, you're not going for real men, right? And it frustrates me because I'm not. I really don't know what the word misogynistic means, but I'm not that type of man. I'm not the type of man who would make a woman feel bad about who she is or X, Y, and Z. But I will be a man that will stand on my own principles, and if that's not something that you're willing to follow or to accept, then I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, I think one of the big issues with that too is people no longer accept individuality like they used to. So it's like everyone expects everyone to be like sheep. Everyone expects a man to do the same thing. And when you expect that, you can't expect someone to be like their own individual.
Right.
Like, I've met men that I thought they were like too soft, or I thought they were like too emotional, or just maybe too stupid. But I think that's just trying to group men as men in a whole just category, and that's not acknowledging them as an individual person.
Right.
Like, no, he's not soft. Like, he's just, he was raised in a compassionate, genuine home. Like, he's a man. He's still a man. He's just sweet. He's just kind. He's soft spoken. That doesn't take away from him being a man.
Right.
Like, like, things like that. So I think that's the issue. Like, but no one can really define, like, a man has a penis. That's it. That's like the baseline. That's all we can say. We can't really talk about the characteristics of a man. Like, I look at it genetically. If you got a penis, you're a man. Yeah. Unfortunately.
And see, so two things. One, I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but there's this man named Ray. Me and him used to work in Planet Fitness when, I think it was back in 2020. I believe it was. But he was like, Julian, I look at human life and compare it to like the animal kingdom. Meaning, so like with lions, if you want to have a male lion that has a big pride, what characteristics does he have? He's a leader, he's bold, he fights for his family, he's tough, etc. And these are things that men should have as well. Yeah. Because again, we are all connected. Animals, humans, plants, everything. We share a lot of similar things with everything, right? And when it comes to not having those characteristics, I see where it's hard for women to be attracted to that. But like with me, I listen to 90s R&B damn near every day. I'm not the type of nigga who would listen to drill music, things like that. I'm not the type of nigga who will sag,
You're not trapping at the bando.
Exactly. And my son's mom even told me I need to be more masculine.
No.
And that threw me off.
No.
Because I'm like, if I
think I find you more as a man for not doing those things.
Thank you.
I find you more as a man for not, because that goes back to putting him in the box, putting him in the group.
Right.
Like, they just want gangbangers. No, that shit is not sexy. That is not it.
But then again, it's like, let's just say me and whatever man she had in her mind when she said that.
Uh-huh.
Let's just say we're trapped in a room, right? And we had to fight each other to get out.
Mm-hmm.
I would leave.
Yeah,
I would leave that. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm comfortable with being myself because I know how dangerous I can be.
Yeah,
because I've trained myself for 2 years to learn how to fight, to learn how to be composed.
Yes.
More so than a man who would just flaunt a gun or be like, I sell drugs. That's fine. Then you have a bird chest. I'll punch you so fucking hard that it wouldn't matter.
And you know what? Yeah, it's crazy that you said that, because I had this one man, I was telling him about some stuff that I was going through, and he's a hood ass nigga, gangster ass nigga. I was telling him about some stuff that I was going through, and he was so self-centered, and I was telling him, I was getting emotional as I was talking to him, and so like I was ready to cry, and he was like, oh no, we don't do crybabies over here, and I was like, what? Like, how not manly, how...
I guess that's the type of nigga my baby mama needs, because...
That was so... And that made me look at him differently. And I'm like, okay, you're not compassionate. Like, that to me that's not a man. That's not a real man.
And especially having a son. Like, I kiss my son. I tell him he's handsome. I hug him. But when there's times where he needs to be a boy or needs to be tough, I let him know that.
Yeah.
But I will never sit there and look at... My son just cried because Vegeta sacrificed himself on the anime.
Aww.
Was bawling his eye. I don't want him to go. Nigga, be either, son. Be either. But again...
That's sweet.
It's that bond between father and son, to where now he gets to feel every emotion to the fullest, knowing that he is heard, respected, and seen.
Yeah.
To where now, where he has a wife who is emotional, or he has kids who love certain things and are really passionate about it and get upset when things don't go their way, he is now able to handle it appropriately. We are so used to having a trauma-based parenting system that we are just pushing these awful things on our children that are not beneficial.
Yeah.
Like my dad told me once, well, actually we were racing. We're racing from the corner store to our house, which is literally down the street, right? Not even a quarter of a mile. He beat us in a race, and he was like, I smoke weed and I still beat you guys in the race because we were fat.
Because we were fat. We were fat.
And I was just there and thinking, I was like, well, why not be like, hey, instead of going in the house, let's play some more.
Let's run some more. Let's
do some shit, right?
Instead of just like bashing you for being fat.
Man,
my children are fat. I beat them in a race, and I'm a smoker.
This is why I work out, guys. Trauma. Okay?
Trauma. Yeah, I would have been traumatized too.
But it's just things like that. It's like the words that you say. A better example. I was watching My Hero Academia. And everybody has superpowers. Like now, if you don't have a superpower, you're the oddball out. So the main character doesn't have a superpower. And he was asking his mom when he was a kid, Mom, do you think I can be a superhero? Mm-hmm. And she said no. Mm. And he was like, I don't care if he was talking in his mind. He was like, I didn't care if I had a superpower. I didn't care, whatever. He's like, in that moment, I wish you would have believed in me. And it's just things like that we don't understand. When it happens, we just reminisce on when it happened, if that makes sense. So I say this a lot. It's hard for me to know that, or it's hard for me to think that my son can see me the same way I saw my father.
No.
Like, when does that innocence go away to where now it's hate or resentment or embarrassment or insecure?
Yeah.
You know, we've built up so much shit from the people that we loved, we don't realize how much that we lost.
That's deep.
If I would have told my son to shut the fuck up and be a man when he was crying, what if that now just
That would have changed
switched
his
every
whole, yeah,
right?
that would have changed his whole world.
Probably would stop talking to stop like it's so.
He would have been like, my dad's a mean person. That's
right?
what he would have just.
It's so odd.
Yeah.
To think that we, or I don't want to say we, but like I've been through that.
Sounds like you're changing like your generational curse.
Yeah,
and being more compassionate for your son.
Of course, and that's how it should have.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should have been from the beginning.
I always tell you, you're a great dad.
Thank you.
You're a great dad.
And I don't see why. And now that I'm both a father and still a son, I get to see both sides, and I understand that my parents are literally human.
Mm-hmm. They're just human.
When they go out, if I didn't know my parents, like if they weren't my parents and I saw them, they're just another fucking person.
Just more people
that I'll walk past. I probably won't even say hello to. Yep. So
might even shoulder check him.
Right.
Fuck out the way.
Man,
I'm just kidding.
If I can go back to when my dad was 26, I'd beat his ass up. But it's just, that's the thing. Like, I try to find, I think the word's compassion for my parents, knowing that they had to experience probably the same things that I had to experience.
Yeah.
They probably got told to shut the fuck up and be a man. They probably was told that they were fat.
Yeah.
And can you blame somebody? Can you blame a kid that grew up and had kids and still acted like a kid?
And you can't, because that's all they knew. That's all they were showed.
But then again, now that I'm a parent and I see how much I sacrifice and how much I've changed for my son, it's like, why couldn't you?
Yeah.
So it's really
they didn't have as much discipline as you.
It's a thin line.
It's a thin line.
Because it's harder to raise a kid now. Like back then, you probably was poor, but fuck, you was poor together.
Yeah.
You get to see celebrity. You can look on your phone right now and see a celebrity go somewhere.
Yeah.
Or you can do whatever.
Yeah.
And you start to resent your own life. Or now your kids get to pick up and be like, well, I can be a different gender if I want to be. Or I can be this, and this. Not saying people can't do what they want to do. Right. But the influence that a parent has on their child is now so compromised that you have to be there 24/7. You have to show them that love to where that they can now push away these different distractions to when it's time for them to fully understand, like, okay, this is what this really means, or this is why people feel like they need to change. Okay, well, that's not my cup of tea, but do your thing.
Yeah.
Instead of being brainwashed by the society, like feeling different. And now it's like, okay, well, these people accept me because I'm feeling different a little bit, and my parents don't understand. And now we get to a point to where we have just lost adults. Mm-hmm. People are having sex with each other. People having orgies. People having diseases. And it's like, if you was just to understand that life is a lot more simple than we make it out to be, I think we'd be better off as a people. Because fuck, there's people in other countries who are dying because they said something wrong about the government.
Right. Or
women that get sexually abused. Now
or
they're
mutilated.
Now they're getting stoned because now it's their fault. So it
gets deep.
It gets deep.
It just gets deep.
But yes, relationships are a tough thing, but they're work.
A tough thing.
They do work.
They work.
And I think
you just have to know why you're getting in a relationship. I think you just got to know what you want, and I think you just have to you gotta love yourself. Gotta have some love for others,
for sure.
And I don't know, I know for now, the time being, I will be single. I'm going to be single, and who knows, I might be single for forever, who knows, but I'm enjoying my time being single, and I think that's just what is going to help me. And like, there was one day I found myself being sad. I was missing my ex real bad. And then, like, 5 minutes later, I was like, I don't have no fucking money. Like, I can't even afford to be sad. So then I went to work, and everything was better.
And see, and
so
that's...
like...
Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Like, I don't know what I was even going to say. I'm telling you, Jillian, I don't know. I'm so high off this NyQuil. I've done disassociated like 10 times.
It's all right. I talk a lot.
It's also the drugs. I'm so drugged up right
I know. still have this little dry cough that I can't fucking get rid of.
No, I'm like full throttle. Like I work in healthcare, as you know. The girl I was training, she was sick, and I was like, "The fuck's wrong with you?" Now here I am. Oh, thank you, healthcare.
It's a funny shit. It's like,
thank you, Luigi, for all of your service in this country.
Like now, how we get sick. If you think about it, that's so disgusting. Like somebody else's germs are coming into my clean body,
right? And
bitch, ew.
Like yuck, bitch, disgust.
Like I saw this video. I don't know if it was real. I don't know if this was just playing, but I guess I don't know if her name was Cupcake or something like that.
Okay.
But I guess she had AIDS, and she told this guy that she didn't have AIDS. No, fuck her. And she was like making fun of him, like, now we both have it. I gave you a gift.
Now that's not funny.
And I was like, that's some nasty shit.
Now to shed, like, just to spread it is not funny. Like, that's not cool. But she should have communicated prior to. She should have gave him the option.
Yeah, people don't give a fuck. That's why after a while, I was scared to have sex. I'm just like, I don't know what these people be having. Like, I had to go get my chart updated, if you feel what I'm saying. And I know I didn't have nothing, but shit, I was scared open and shit. I was like, negative, good. No AIDS. Man. Like, it's just, and it's not worth it. Like, I think, even when I go to like sex clubs, wow, strip clubs.
When you go to
sex clubs, yeah. What am I doing there? But when I go to sex, and I think weed has a lot to do with me not enjoying like arousal, because weed shuts my body down.
Me too.
Like if I can't get hard on weed. That's why
I'm glad last time we did a podcast too, we had smoked prior to.
Yeah, we did.
Bitch was retarded. I didn't know what the fuck to say. I was like, I'm high. Like, what do we do?
Yeah. I'm actually starting to smoke at night times because I just feel like it's just been fucking up my days.
Random thought, but I just saw something on Facebook that said for every 35 pounds a man loses, he gains 1 inch in his penis. Is that true? Has your dick gotten bigger since you lost weight?
I don't know if it's gotten big. It's not on soft. On soft, it's still just. I'm just like, come on.
Well,
man.
duh.
But yeah, when it's and I think another.
Do you
thing,
think it's gotten bigger since you've lost weight?
Here's the thing. So, my son's mom said it was always big. I was just big, so it looked small to me.
Right. So
even weight, now, I think so. More veins.
So that might be true.
Yeah.
That might be true. Oh, might be true. Julian has a big dick, ladies. Get out here and get on him. He's got a big dick. Come find him. He will give you some. Make sure that my chart is up to date. But he will give you some.
Man, the most excited I've been is because being big, you can really only do one position.
I'm gonna make a shirt that says Julian has a big dick.
I would hope
no one's gonna know.
Just put my
no one's gonna. They're gonna be like, "Who's Julian?" And then I'll put him in your direction.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
I don't know. Me and Julian have strictly always been friends. We'll always be friends. I don't know. I really don't care to find out. But for the next bitch, I will send them this way. I will send it to you, Julian.
I actually had
I will send them to you. Oh. You need a big dick? A BBC from a BBM? A BBC from a BBM.
No,
Come over here.
I'm laughing because there's this woman who butt dialed me and was telling somebody I had a little dick. I was like, come on, bro.
Aww, like, damn, my manhood, my pride.
But no, I thought it was funny. But no, like losing weight, and for the people who have lost weight, there's no better feeling. It's just like seeing your dick going in and out. Because I used to just assume it was going in and out.
I'm feeling it. I
just had to assume, but now I'm like, look at you.
My beautiful little...
Man. I do need to get smaller though, man, because when I'm having sex with bigger women, I'm still wide, and you know,
they're still wide.
Yeah, and I still got thighs, so you know, even though it's a solid, probably like I don't. Actually, I told this girl that it was the same length as my phone, like the long ways.
Okay,
and she was excited about that, and I was like, I don't think that's
average. I want to say that's average.
Yeah.
Now, if it was as thick as the phone,
that's crazy.
Now that will rock some bitches' world.
That's crazy.
There really are dicks out there that thick, for sure.
Fuck them.
And that's what we want to do.
No.
That is what we want to do.
That's the thing. When I used to tell people, I was like, man, big things can't fit in small holes, but small things can fit in small holes.
Big things can fit in small holes.
I know that shit. I've seen some women that like had those big alien dildos things.
Ew.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
That's nasty.
There's a lot. I had
toys.
I had to stop watching porn.
Yeah, porn.
That used to fuck up my whole
vibe.
Not even vibe. It
fuck up your whole day.
It made me so comfortable with getting pleasure from looking at a screen that when I have sex, it
was hard. Mm-hmm. Like almost like a porn addiction.
Yeah.
Men are so, I hate to say that, but it seems like men be having porn problems. Me, if I start to watch porn, I'll start into it, then I feel dirty. I'm like, oh, let me turn this off.
Well, see, at a certain point, I was that way. Like, Jillian, this is beneath you.
This is beneath me.
Like, you can actually
go out and get the real deal.
Exactly.
Make your own porn.
and I think that's why I went soft, like, with my ex-girlfriend, because she was giving me some head. It was nice.
It was
right?
nice.
It was nice.
It was acceptable.
I loved it.
It was acceptable.
But then I was thinking, of course, about my son's mom, because she actually came over here and, like, yelled at me for having, like, a girlfriend. It was so fucking crazy.
Wow. If it's not
but
the
anyway,
kettle, it's the pot.
But anyway, that's the, like, it was another reason.
She has no right to do that. She had no right to come and be mad at you.
Yeah, fuck her. But anyway.
I'm sorry. It couldn't have been my man, because we're going to have to squabble that.
Actually, that's the thing. She was gangster. Like, because she...
Which one?
My ex.
Okay,
not my son's mom.
Okay, because I'm hoping that she would have been like, wait a minute.
Well, because, okay, so my son's mom, her whole deal was she met my son and I didn't want her to meet my son, X, Y, and Z. That was her reasoning, right? And then again...
You cheated and I didn't want you to cheat, so let's, like, that's crazy. Anyways.
And then she came over and, okay, so me and the girl started dating. But like a week before, I asked my son's mom if she wanted a threesome with somebody. So she came over and was like yelling, "You were asking me for a threesome," and all. I was like, "Oh shit, what is mom doing?" But anyway, she was like, "When can I meet her? I'll come back every day until I meet her." I was like, "Bitch, you're really not about that life, first of all."
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, the girl opens the door and was like, "You can meet me now." And I was like,
"Pen,
oh!
pen." Oh! City girls up 10 points. So what? So then what happened? Did they fight?
No,
because she's not about that life.
She wasn't about shit. She was like, "So when did you meet my son? Or how long?" And she was like, "Okay, you can go back in the house."
And she had to make it about the son because that's the only justification she had. Isn't that crazy? I love whoever your ex-girlfriend is. I love her more already. Like, well, you can meet me right now.
I think you and her would get along.
You can meet me right now.
She was so fucking cool. Anyway, but yeah, it's just all these things that was going into it. I noticed that, well, maybe I just need to again keep figuring out who I am, who I need to be.
Yeah, I'm big on that for myself too. Yeah, because I'm such a different person. Like, I've grown. I got into the relationship when I was like 20, 21. I'm 27. I'm on my way to 30. Like, I've just grown so much, and I'm just a different person now. So, and Rihanna said what? 35, 37. She said you can have your first kid at 35 or 37.
Probably.
So I've got like a good 10 years on me. Like, I've got enough time to figure myself out. I definitely don't plan on being a fucking cheater in my 30s. Like, come on, that's loser shit. Only losers cheat. Only losers cheat.
Yeah, be a winner.
Be a winner. Be a winner. You can't even tell. There we go. Be a winner.
And I started to realize that. So when I was a teenager, I used to think that my life was going by so quickly. But now that I'm an adult,
this shit going by sloozy.
It's that, but there's so much more life to live.
There's so much more life to live.
Let's just say we live to 70. That's 50 more fucking years. 40 something more years.
50 years of rent. 50 years of slave.
But it's just things like that. Like, we have time to wait.
We have time. Time.
My son's 4.
And I work at a nursing home.
Yeah,
I've walked in on old people's sex. So
I thought they weren't supposed to be having sex there.
No, you can if it's 2 consensual adults. Yeah. I didn't mean to. I was supposed to knock. I was like, I'm supposed to knock. I'm so sorry. I went and told my nurse. I was like, I'm so sorry.
Damn.
My eyes that was burning. But
shout out to them.
Basically what I'm saying is you can fuck up until the end.
Yeah.
Like, you got time. We got time.
I heard Kevin Samuels. That's how he died.
Heart attack.
Yeah, having sex.
That's what be happening. And you know what? I think I would want to go that way too. Like, ride it real good. Like, fall over dead. Like, at least like, a bitch went out with a bang.
Right. Man. I thought this was only like for play. So I don't want to. This woman that I had sex with, I guess I kind of already. She used to like convulse, like leg shake when.
Oh yeah, like orgasm. That's what it sounded like. It was good.
I loved it. I was like, shout out to a real nigga for putting it down. But see, okay, so another thing, she was skinny, but she was nicely proportioned.
Okay.
But I'm used to having sex with a bigger woman.
With a big beast.
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry. Does your baby mama go back and watch these? Is she like 70 episodes in?
Nah, she don't support me.
Okay, good. Because then she'd be mad if I called her a big beast. No, but we can squabble up, so it's whatever type of time you want.
I actually had this women empowerment video where this girl was topless, and I was interviewing her about...
And her tits was out?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, it was nice. But...
Julie was like, so, can you tell me...
what size are those, first of all? But no, it was... Go and watch the video. It was really great. It's basically how... society, not even just men, society over-sexualize women, especially with like their breasts.
Yeah, because that's been since the beginning of time.
Right, and I was trying to remove that barrier to show her that outside of sexuality, you are a person.
Yeah.
You are a mother. So that was the reason behind that. But when I had that, she didn't want to support me after that. So she don't watch these. Oh. But I didn't want you to watch it anyway. It's
right. We don't need you.
Yeah, fuck off.
So do you get views? How many views do you get?
Not a lot. People don't really support me, but it's okay.
Well, you know, it usually starts like, I feel like years from now, like you're going to like start raking it in. I notice that's how it is. Like,
yeah.
Now it's nothing, but in like 10 years, at least like 300 people.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Again, I'm trying to write some more skits. I'm trying to do a lot more things because I've started to notice that I actually have a niche for this, or a niche. I have a I can do this. I'm good at it, and I just need to put it in motion. And that was another thing of, okay. I'm kind of sidetracking. So the reason I said I'm used to having sex with bigger women is because I was trying to like take her to Pound Town, right, and show her all the good destinations.
Right,
my ex.
Right.
That bone, whatever bone that y'all have, that shit hurt after a while.
Oh,
because I was trying to lay it down.
Was she skinny?
Yeah, but she
so
was
with bigger women, you don't feel that.
Yeah, because
there's
cushion for the
there's more cushion for the pushing.
That's what that comes from.
Yeah.
See, I'm still a virgin, so I don't mean
that's why they say like being skinny is not in no more. Like you need to get you a
I loved it though, because there's this move, right? You should ask whoever if you have sex to try it.
Well, I've also had sex with women before, so.
A lot of women that I've been meeting have been telling me that, and I'm just like, why can't be telling me this? I don't know what I need to do with this information.
Well, all I'm saying is I've been inside of the coochie, so
it's nice, right?
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I don't want to get into that.
Especially,
I'm a bad person.
Especially, have you ever had a girl who can squeeze their coochie with something inside of it? Like a Kegel, I think it is.
Yeah, that's a Kegel. I mean, I can do Kegels. Any woman can do Kegels.
Well,
Kegels are exercise.
Well, okay. Well, what?
Have you watched the video of that woman who like is at like World Guinness and she's like out in front of people and she's like lifting shit with her coochie?
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, you can look it up on YouTube.
Man, but I don't know where that.
There's like a weight at the end of like a chain, like and her coochie's like moving it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But okay, so anyway, you do. So doggy style is when you're on your knees, right?
Right. Like
what is the standing one when she just bent over?
I don't know, but that's a good one.
But anyway, so you bend her over, right? But you get both of her arms. Have you seen the Naruto run?
Yeah, like the
Naruto run.
Oh yeah.
So how they have their arms back. So you grab her wrist.
Yeah.
And you thrust her into yourself.
Right.
That shit's crazy.
That was good.
It was nice.
With the skinny girl.
Yeah.
Did you feel the bone?
I mean, she had.
At what point did you feel the bone?
When it was missionary. Because what I do is instead of like thrusting, I kind of like jump and land. Jump and land. So like if it's a firm bed, it's kind of hard. But if your bed has like a little bit of bounce, what you can do is kind of like bounce and use momentum to go up and down instead of thrusting in and out.
I don't know. I like the thrusting. I don't really like the thrust. I guess I like the almost like a belly roll into it. The belly roll. I like the belly roll motion.
I'm
Yeah,
an
I don't
advocate
know.
for women to start taking control of sex because that
Yeah.
shit. I work out a lot. Okay?
I take control.
So my
It's
body
tiring.
is tired.
I'm an advocate
as
for men to
fuck.
continue to take control.
Okay. Man, like take the dick, not just take it, but take it. Like flip me over, nigga.
Put in rotation.
Right, man, do something.
That
man.
is funny.
Fuck. And I had this big girl. She was like, "I want to ride you." I was like, "Bet." And then like 20 seconds later, she was like, "My legs," and I was like, "I assume so." Her legs was hurting.
Oh, yeah. You got to be strong. That's why us women also need to hit the gym. Oh, Julian, I hope that ain't me.
No.
Ooh.
Anyway,
Well, are we done here?
if you have anything else you need to say,
All I have to say is I lied about the first half.
Yeah, nobody cheats. We don't be cheating.
People cheat,
We don't be
but
cheating.
we don't be cheating.
We're not cheaters. I'm a pussy. I can't cheat. If I was to cheat, I would think about her and then probably would go soft.
What's that song? I might as well have cheated on you.
I'm gonna send that to my ex right
Much
now.
as you accuse me of cheating.
Man. All right, everyone. From us to you.
Bye.
May your pain be champagne.
May your pain be champagne.